What if I told you you've been lied to with mathematics and 1 plus 1 does not always equal 2? Well, in today's video, we're going to actually go through that and talk about the language of money and how to understand it better. Hey, Jason here. If you're new to the channel, I've been an expat/nomad for 10 years. I'm now on my fourth country, third continent here in the southern region of Africa in Lusaka, Zambia. And what I started doing is sharing with you what I've learned along this 10-year journey. And more importantly, what I'm doing now is really focusing on sharing with you how I am rebuilding my wealth, reestablishing myself as I'm setting up roots here in Africa. And so today, welcome to day 18, and this is the language of money. If you're here on YouTube, you are actually watching this about 2-3 days behind. If you're here on TikTok, you're actually watching this live. So if you want to watch this live on YouTube, make sure you just follow me at Jason Chaney 777 over on TikTok, and that's where you can see the live replays. And so let's talk about the language of money. What do I mean by that? What I mean by the language of money is a tool to magnify who you are as a person. Money does not make you or break you. You should not be a different person just because you have a lot more money. However, a lot of us, money, it intensifies who we think we should be. And when that happens, this is how you get people that are very rude, people that are mean, and people that abuse others. But if you actually watch someone who's worked hard to get everything that they have, they're usually some of the most nicest, kindest people in the world. This is why I always say, do not believe this hype that's in the media. Rich people are bad people. You have not met enough rich people to even make that assumption. And you sure as hell cannot make that assumption based off famous celebrities or personality types. Those are not the real rich people. And those people don't provide much value to the world outside of entertainment. And so one of the things that made me want to really excited about doing this is I went back to when Terrence Howard was telling people 1 times 1 equals 2. And I remember reading all the comments. Everybody was like, he's dumb. This stupid celebrity, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. He's been drinking the juice. But the truth is, the average ordinary person is crazy. They do not understand that the math that you have been taught is not to help you become financially free. If so, why have most of us not been able to do it? This is the questions we need to start asking. So I'm going to show you how 1 times 1 does not equal 1, especially when it comes to money. Right here, we have 150, no, this is 100, I'm sorry, 100 currency note in Zambian kwacha. Here we have 200 note in Zambian kwacha. These together does not equal 1 times 1. So this 1 note times this 1 note does not equal 1. This is 300 kwacha altogether. We have to start breaking things down at a simple level when it comes to what we think is mathematics, especially when it comes to money. Money works in one way and one way only. When you're using one currency and you're multiplying that currency. And this is how money works. This is why you see people like Grant Cardone and stuff like that. And a lot of these other teachers of money, they're always talking about multiplication. Money multiplies, but it only multiplies its current value. So right here, these are 50 kwachas. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So this right here is 1,050 kwacha. But this is 50 kwachas multiplied by 150 kwacha multiplied times 2150 kwachas. So when you're dealing with money, you have to multiply the face value of that currency times itself. This is how money multiplies. Everything with money, when we're talking about compounding and all of that, that is talking about your money multiplying. And keep it on simple terms, on the simplest terms first. This is why I'm saying only use one face value. You didn't see me say, let me multiply 100 times 50s. No. If I have 20 hundreds, now I'm going to multiply this 100 times 20 other hundreds. If I have 50s, I'm going to only multiply the 50s I have. If I have 200s, I'm going to only multiply the 200s I have with other 200s. This is how money works. Money is a different language. It is not simple mathematics. 1 + 1 and 1 × 1 is not always 1. It's just not. Even if I have two 1 kwachas and I multiply that together, that is not 1 kwacha. I have 2 kwacha. We have to start redefining the mathematics that we believe we know. I was listening to Billy Carson the other day, and it's crazy how synchronicity works with the universe. And he was talking about how, if you go around most people and you ask them basic questions, they will give you an answer. But the truth is, they've never thought about why is the answer the way it is. They're only doing something called recalling, meaning recalling what we have been taught to memorize. And this is how math and money works. Most of us are recalling basic mathematics, things that we've been told is the answer, and we never questioned, is this really the answer? Because the catch is, even if I try to multiply these together, this one note times this one note, it doesn't make one note. I have 100 kwacha. It's still 2 notes. This is 2 notes, but it adds up to 100 kwacha. We have to start understanding the mathematics when it comes to money. It is not the same as the stuff we've been taught in school. And I know there's going to be people out there like, oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Then why haven't the mathematics that you've learned got you to financial freedom? Like, we have not been taught anything about finances. Most of us are going from the cradle to the grave without ever questioning, why haven't I been taught about finances? Why are you not being taught how to budget? Why are we not being taught how to manage money? Why are we not talking about how money compounds? All of these different things, we have to start asking why. It makes zero sense. Every country you go to in the world, they're like, oh, we want our people to be as financially free as possible. We want our people to be as educated as possible. But yet you see the same themes no matter where you go. College students are always getting drunk. Old men are always going after young girls in college. Old men are throwing their money at these young girls in college. All of this silliness, yet you're not seeing any place in the world where people in college are actually learning practical skills. I guarantee you right now, I can go to any university here in Zambia on any day of the week, and less than 1% of the people will have any understanding of how to budget. They will not have any understanding of how to manage their money. And the question is why? Why is it that way? Why isn't school teaching us to start a side hustle, build that side hustle, manage that side hustle, build a business? How many people around the world get money, get loans while they're in universities, and they're using that money to buy clothes, buy new hair, get jewelry, buying electronics, going out to eat at the nice restaurant so they can post it on the gram, yet they're not building businesses? We need to start asking the question why. We're not being taught the language of money. Money is its own energy. Money is not the same as basic mathematics, and it's sure as hell not the same as complex mathematics. I went all the way up to calculus. I did calculus, trigonometry, all of that. I don't use any of that stuff to get me financially free. I haven't used any of that stuff in any of my journeys of financial literacy. None of that stuff helped me. I didn't need to know sine over cosine to be able to balance my checkbook. I didn't need to know sine over cosine or the Pythagorean theorem to be able to save money every month. I didn't need to know how to do those things. It took discipline and starting to really appreciate the smallest note of money that I can earn. And when I started appreciating $1, I started appreciating all the money that I had. Like, that's why even now, I'm not out here buying name brand stuff. I don't care about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, Christian Dior. I don't even care about Jordan. I buy knockoffs. I will buy fake everything until probably the day I'm no longer on this planet. And guess what? I don't have nothing to prove to anyone. I don't care if I'm wearing dirty shoes and people looking, when you see a woman look down at your shoes and then look up, I'm like, lady, I don't care about you looking at my shoes. And I don't care about these shoes being dirty. I didn't come out here to see you. And this is one of the things I keep noticing. A lot of us are doing this thing of keeping up with the Joneses because we don't understand the language of money. And then before we know it, we're wasting a fortune we could have made. I've done it personally. All the time I spent in the military was a fortune that I could have made if I would have had it in some type of return of interest, some type of ROI or dividend paying interest on my money. If my money was out making money while I was sleeping, I could have been rich by now. I'm not afraid to admit that I messed up. I made a mistake. But you know what? I wasn't aware of it. This is why now that I'm aware of this, I'm really sharing this information, because the more you become aware of it, the better things are going to be in your life. Sacrifice your younger years to enjoy your later years. And this is the thing that we're not taught to think about. There's going to come a time your body is too tired to do as much work as you can do right now. When that time comes and then you're on some type of government assistance, Social Security or whatever, you're at the mercy of getting money handed out to you, and they don't care if you're actually above the cost of living or anything like that. So you might as well take the time now to learn about money, learn the language of money, understand how money really compounds, understand that money only multiplies. It doesn't add and subtract. Money multiplies. Once you get that it multiplies, you will start seeing, oh, wait, this is how I do this. This is why I always talk about multiple streams of income. Small streams of little bit of money actually multiplies to way more money over the years. Like one of my stocks is I have a very small share in the stock. It pays me point zero. I think this last month it paid me 0.04 cents on the dollar. That doesn't sound like a lot of money, but that is for the rest of my life. Every single month that is actually paying me that. But here's the kicker. When I pass away and I transfer that stock to my children, they're getting that for their life. When I teach them, hey, this is how you transfer this to your kids, my grandkids will get that for the rest of their life. Then they teach their kids, my great grandkids. You start teaching the language of money. Like small amounts of money, and you keep passing them down to generation, it becomes wealth. We have to stop thinking short term. I do not turn down any bit of money. If I can earn one kwacha, $1, one pula, 1 rand, I'm going to earn it, because I know long term, if I keep it multiplying, that can become millions. Coca-Cola, all of these big brands that are around the world now, they did not start out as $1 billion entity. They started out selling one thing at one time to one person. Now look at Coca-Cola. It is probably one of the largest worldwide recognizable brands. And they're so big, they go into markets and buy up the competitors and then use the competitors and still make money off of them. Like, that is huge. Really think about that. Next time you go buy a soft drink, look at the bottom, the fine print of it, and see if it's distributed through PepsiCo or Coca-Cola. They own just about every beverage and water in the world. There are very few private-owned companies left, and most people don't know that. And so start understanding the language of money. I know it's a Friday. I know everybody want to get out, go have fun. So I'm going to make this one a short one for you. And your exercise for this weekend, because I know some people are not going to do it today, pick 3 financial terms you don't know, learn and use them this weekend. I would recommend definitely learning compounding. That is a very big one. Compounding is one of the biggest words that most people do not understand, because compounding can be in your favor or against your favor. And before I leave, let me just share this with you. I was talking with a Yango driver today. Young guy, really had his head on straight. It was really nice conversation with him. He was letting me know how, he paid his car off. Now he's working. He's setting aside a certain amount of money every month. And he was really proud. I was like, bro, that is a really good thing. Give yourself a pat on the back. And then I told him, I was like, hey, here's just a word of advice, and think about this a little different. That money you're setting aside right now, just because it's sitting in the bank, if you're not earning a good return of interest on it, take a little bit aside and go get a different type of ROI, return of interest. I was like, look at dividend paying stocks. You have high yielding dividend paying stocks. Look into different forms of crypto if you're willing to educate yourself in it. Look into ways to invest in other people. Look into other things that you can invest in business wise. And he was like, man, I never even thought about that. I was like, look, you need to start focusing on get your money to make money for you while you're sleeping. Because of the inflation and deflation of your money just sitting in a checking account, it is not good enough nowadays. Back in the age of our grandparents, that was perfect. But now we live in an age of high inflation, high deflation. And I was just like, hey, just start thinking about that. Educate yourself on that. And that young brother, he was like, man, thank you. No one's ever talked to me about that. And I really hope he take that advice, because I'm really rooting to see him as a millionaire in Zambia one day. And he started out driving a Yango. And then I told him too, like, also make sure you're setting aside enough money to where every couple of years you get more cars, you have people driving for you. So one day you're a boss, you're not working. People are working for you. And we really need to start focusing on the way that we're looking at money, and start focusing on the way that we can start having more money earn money for us while we are sleeping. When I get that 0.04 cents come in my account every month, I'm excited, because all I do is roll it over. It just buys more stock, buys more stock. There's going to come a day where that 0.04 cents become 10 cents. Then it's going to become $1. Then it's going to become $10, then 100, then 1,000. And then once it hit 1,000, that is great money coming in every month. Wouldn't you agree? And so just start looking at things a little different, especially when it comes to money, because most of us have been taught the wrong language of money. And money is not going to ever work in your benefit if you're exchanging your physical time to earn it. You're going to have to find another way to start earning money. And so just before I leave, let me just say it again, the exercise for this weekend: pick 3 financial terms you don't know, learn and use them this weekend. And so hope you got some value out of this. Enjoy your weekend. Make good financial decisions. I'm already seeing, like, I just got back home, was out looking at a house and stuff, and went and got some veggies. And there's a lot of poor financial decisions going on right now. I'm seeing the bars getting crowded. I'm seeing people rushing to go drink. People with the big 40-ounce beer bottles. All of these things. But it's like, if you're not going to start putting money to work for you, how are you ever going to start seeing the benefits of it? And so really start changing the way that you think about money and how you receive money. You do not have to work physical labor to always receive money. And so just remember this: I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.